The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together, and one of them, a scholar of the law, tested him by asking, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" He said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and the first commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. The whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise be Jesus and Mary. The whole law and the prophets depends on these two commandments. And what are these commandments? Of course, I heard, sabi nga sa radio station, kailangan pa bang i-memorize yan? What does it mean? It means that this commandment to love God with all your heart and to love our neighbors as ourselves already, we can say, memorized in our minds and in our hearts, no? Because at least every year, how many times we hear this gospel regarding these two commandments of love. And yet, but, sabi nga, bagamat subalit datapwat, no? Are we really serious in really putting it into practice? No? On the first reading, if you listen, regarding Ezekiel, today is also, if I'm not mistaken, the memorial of Saint Ezekiel Moreno. So, a priest, and also Saint John Eudes, together with Saint Louis. But this saint, Saint Louis, Saint John Eudes, especially Saint John Eudes, which is one of the first propagator, if I'm not mistaken, of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Although not through apparition, but through reflection and theological reflection, Saint John Eudes. So we see, to be able to grasp the meaning of these two commandments, we should look on the saint and also Prophet Ezekiel, Saint Ezekiel. If you hear, God said to the bones, siguro kung kayo yun, if you are that, you will be, if you were Ezekiel or me as Ezekiel, you will be afraid, because God said, talk to those bones, that it becomes again has a flesh. Para bang sabi nga, zombie. It's like a zombie, what God has said in the first reading. And yet, God did it. From that dried bones, it becomes a human. And that is what love can do. As we heard in the responsorial song, give thanks to the Lord, His love is everlasting. And love can make things beautiful, can make things easy. Sabi nga ni Saint Augustine, love and do whatever you please. But it does not mean that we have the license to do all. Why? Because if a person really truly loves, he will do good. And love and sin is incompatible. So if you sin, you do not love. If you love, you do not sin. That is what Saint Augustine is telling. And when there is love, there's always life. Di po ba? There's always life. And you know, we can talk all day, all months, all year regarding love. It will not be exhausted. Because as St. John said, Deus caritas est. God is love. And this is the heart of our religion, heart of the Catholic faith, that God is love. And this is the simple way of living our Christian faith. Just like what St. Louis, St. John Eudes, St. Ezekiel Moreno has did in their life. Their life is a life of love. Where there is love, I repeat, there is life. And when there is life, there is love. If you live as a priest, a religious, as a lay, and you do not love, it means that you are dead. No? Everything that has no love is dead. Because only a person or human person with life can love. Kaya nga, if you hate a person, if you don't like a person, if you are angry with a person, if you cannot forgive a person, it's killing you. Sabi nga sa kanta, I was dying inside too. Oh dear. You are dying inside. O sabi pa nga, killing me softly. It will kill you softly. Because when you do not learn how to love, you don't know how to live. When you do not know how to love, you do not know how to live. And this is a challenge for us. If we want to live every day in our life, just like the bones that becomes a human person, we become more human when we love. And we become full of life when we love. So, let us examine ourselves, including myself. Do we live every day? And do we love every day? Because in loving, we live. And living, we love. And the saint, like St. Louis, St. John Eudes, St. Ezekiel Moreno, they do not die. No. Of course, physically, they are not with us. But spiritually, they live. Because they are a person who loves. And a person who loves does not die. He only changed his life, from this world to the next. Because Deus caritas est. God is love. Ave Maria. If you like this video, subscribe and share. Ave Maria.